Hi, hello. How are you guys? Hope you are doing well. Welcome back to Unlock Jenkins Pipeline Secret series from the IT Engineers 99. If you like our contribution, please try to join in our Telegram group DevOps Dummies. So today I back with one more scenario implementation called how to clone the private GitHub repository using HTTPS. In the last session, we successfully discussed and demonstrated how to clone the private repository using SSH with the DSL Groovy, right? Today, we are focusing on how to clone the private repository using HTTPS. For this, first we need to follow these steps. First, we need to create the personal access token for the private repository. Personal access token in the sense, you know very well, GitHub in generally restricted the username and passwords. If I don't have username and passwords, how to talk to the or how to communicate to my GitHub repository, especially if it is in a private repository. For that, they introduce a token-based system. You need to create the token from the GitHub. Then after that, you need to use that token in our Jenkins as a secret text. Secret text. Remember it? Credentials we are talking. So second step, you need to add it. Third one is once the token is added, you should know how to call this token in the script for cloning the purpose. So for cloning the code from the GitHub repository using HTTPS, we are going to introduce a new DSL statement called with the credentials. So using with credentials only, we are going to integrate our token so that Jenkins automatically look for it and establish the secure connection between the Jenkins to the private repository. Then finally, I will explain a syntax how this personal access token path is embedded in the DSL step. And during the implementation of the Groovy script for resolving this scenario, resolving this task or whatever you can call, how to introduce this dynamic typing in Groovy called def. If you observe the previous recorded sessions, we introduce a static data types just like a string. And today I'm just slowly introducing the dynamic type called as a def keyword. Then finally we'll run and verify the results. Then we'll understand what is the advantage and disadvantage of this credentials and why these credentials are just like temporary. We'll discuss. So without further delay, go step by step. First, we need to access how to create the personal access token, right? So go back to our personal access token here. So if you want to come down here, first you go to the top right corner. There is a settings. Once you click on the settings, here if you scroll down at the last left hand side, there is a developer settings link is there. Click on it and click on PAT, personal access tokens. Select your tokens classic, and right hand side there is a button called generate new token. Of course it is a generate token, and give the name, right? For example, clone, or I can say like a token. I can say like a my token, and set the expiration and choose the scope as a repo. And one more thing is our discussion is not on this GitHub administration. In the future sessions, definitely will get. For me, okay, right now I can't. Let me move forward. I will explain the steps. One, click on generate token. So copy this one. So the first step is done successfully. What we did, we create the personal access token. Again, I'm repeating to avoid the username and passwords. To connecting to the private repository, GitHub introduced the token system. So we have to create the token. Okay, next, how to add this token in the Jenkins as a secret text. Let us dive how to add it in the job. Which job you are going to work, pipeline job. So let us start creating the job, and while creating the job, just follow the step by step. For this, go back to my Jenkins. I already logged as admin. I just right now I'm in the new item like a dashboard. The new item I'm giving like clone repo using token or using HTTPS. Now I'm selecting the pipeline because our target is more on pipeline code. Pipeline as a code. Jenkins file, we'll see, right? So hope our agenda is very clear. I want to clone the private GitHub repository using HTTPS. Now you may get one question from last couple of videos. We are slowly and focusing on each and every point. My intention is I don't want to explain the concepts on the fly. So if you visit our channel, they should get a clear understanding why this fellow was explaining the step by step. That's why in the beginning I only noted that this these series, even not only Jenkins, even as starts Docker and Kubernetes, our intention is wants to explain the real info, real knowledge, as well as up to the industry standards. Maximum I do my level best. You please try to encourage if you really like it. So let us go back. Yes, right now uh, I'm in pipeline job. Just scroll down. So before writing the pipeline script, first of all, you have to follow the second step. Once you create the personal access token, how this token is going to communicate, how the Jenkins is going to utilize it, how you establish the connection to download that or to recognize that key in the script. For that, first of all, I have to create a Jenkins. I have to create a step in the Jenkins as a secret text. How? Just go back to the DSL step. Here there is a pipeline syntax. Just open in a new window. So what I'm trying to say, after creating the personal access tokens, we need to save the token in the Jenkins as a secret text. How to add that token as a secret text, not manually, through automation. Through automation in the sense we are going to introduce one more step called the with the credentials DSL step. If you observe earlier, we discussed the get and checkout now with credentials. But to be technical, if I say with the credential is a DSL step, you need to attach, you need to save, or you need to create as a block in the step section. Wait, I'll tell you. First, understand with credentials. So with credentials is a DSL step. What are the steps required to interact with the with credentials? Just search the code called as with credentials. So sorry. So with the credentials. To bind the credentials to the variables. Whatever the token is there, you have to attach to the variable. Select this one. Yes, and it is asking uh, add as a secret text. Just click on secret text. Now my variable is, for example, my token. My token. Now I want to add this token from the credentials provider plugin as secret text, right? So in this, our secret text we need to copy and paste. So go back and copy our newly created personal access token. Copy the newly created path into the secret text box and give the ideas. For example, I given like what test token, or I can say my token, and there is a description same like a token. Okay, then go and click on add. So what is our token? So this is a token, right? And my token is the variable. So it means our credentials are stored inside the my token variable. Go and click on generate pipeline script. So this is the step we got it. You need to use this step like with credentials. Again, I'm repeating, with the credential is a DSL statement that will try to store the assigned value called as a what? A PAT, personal access token. This is the token available and attached to which variable? My token. My token is a variable from the which block with the DSL credentials. Now how to integrate this with credentials inside the declarative pipeline? So go to the third step. What is the third step? How to use the above token in the script for cloning the repository. And finally we'll understand with credentials, right? Okay. Let us go to the Jenkins window. Go back here, and as usual, we are working on the declarative pipeline. Declarative pipeline is start with the pipeline keyword, and I want to run on available agent. And right now, as usual, I'm trying to use environment directive. Under environment directive, I want to declare one variable called as repo URL, because without repo URL, how can you? So what is our URL? Our URL is from the CI/CD project, right? Go to that project. So again, I'm repeating, we are cloning the private repository using HTTPS, not SSH. Earlier recorded video we discussed SSH, HTTPS, especially private repository, isn't it? Just go to the script and put into the string. This is called a repo URL. Next, I'm declaring one more name called as a branch name. The branch name is equal to main. Right. So environment isn't. Next. What next? I want to start the stages. Under stage, you need to give the stage name. My stage name is clone private repo using HTTPS, just for understanding purpose. Next, under stage, I want to write down the steps. Under steps, under steps, what we are going to do? What we are going to do? We are going to paste the our credentials, right? Within the credentials, see, credentials with credentials is technically a block in the declarative pipeline, but and from the DSL point of view, it is a DSL step. So what is the step? Go to the pipeline syntax, copy this, Control C, go back to the script, in the step section paste. So now we need to implement the logic. Listen carefully, don't confuse. So with credentials is the DSL step that is going to call the my token variable. My token variable contains the value of the personal access token. Now, how these variables are accessed by the Jenkins declarative pipeline? Because as you know, right now we are in the step section. The step section cannot directly access, right? For this, you need to call the scripts, right? So I need to open the script block. So within the script block, what we need to do, whatever the value here. So with credential is pointing to the which variable my token. My token is going to pointing to the token. That token we have to access inside the variable, right? That's why within the script. Now you may get one question, why Srinivas open the script tag? Because as you know, if you want to access the variable within the step section, you cannot directly call the environment directly. So if you declare the environment variable here, I can use that. So in this script, we are going to work on three variables. One is a repository URL, second one is a branch name, but that URL is accessed through a special variable called as a my token. What my token is a secret text. Now how within the script is going to access how within the script is going to access this my token variable. That's why I'm going to declare one variable of type. So I'm introducing a def. Def is a keyword in the Groovy scripting. So if you don't want to declare a data type within the script tag, it's called def. So def variable is equal something. In generally, there are two types of data types: static data type and a dynamic data type. In static data type, in the previous record session, we use string name is equal to something. If you want to define the data type explicitly, you have to use static data type. And if you want to assign a value to the variable without defining the data type, then there is a keyword called as a def. Def is a keyword. Now I'm going to declare variable, suppose URL with the token. This is my variable. This URL with the token is a variable of type any. If you don't know what type of data type, if you want to leave this recognition of the data type at runtime, then you must use def keyword, right? Def is a keyword. Now here, how this variable is going to access that value. Now HTTPS. What is HTTPS? Hypertext Transfer Protocol colon 2 forward slash. Remember carefully. We are trying to access the personal access token so that the token is going to communicate with the github.com. Under github.com, it recognizes our username. Under user, there is a repository. How this communication is established to the GitHub private repository in order to authorize, in order to authenticate our token. That's why here there is a logic. After HTTPS, you should use some convention like X hyphen access hyphen token. Keep in mind, this is the syntax. This is the syntax you have to use it, right? So access token, if you don't define it, obviously what happens? Your personal access token format cannot colon dollar. What is a dollar? Pointing to the variable. Which variable? My token. My token. Why I'm using my token? Because in the previous with the DSL with the credential, sorry, with the credential is going to save our personal access token in the variable called as my token, and my token is assigned to the HTTPS. That's why it's a matter of a few minutes to explain the 3 lines or 10 lines of code how to clone it, but we are not doing that. We are going to touch each and every point in a more precise, cleanly manner. That's it. Now, what is our point? How to access, how to access the personal access token in the URL. That's why you should use X hyphen access token and close the bracket. My token at the rate, because it's quite common, github.com. Under github.com, my username is itengineers99 slash, what is the project? CICD project dot git. So this is the variable. That's why this portion is most important. So technically the highlight of this script is how to introduce or how to embed. If you observe our step AC, so how the pat was embedded in the DSL step. That's what that token called my token is attached to the HTTPS with the form of https colon x hyphen access hyphen token colon with our token. So that's all. The step is gone. The step is over. The rest of thing is, yeah, you need to call our DSL statement. Get, what's our branch? My branch is, what's our branch name, because I want to clone the repos using the git branch, like git DSL statement. That's why I will stress you one more question. So wait, let me complete this task, then I will. So git branch name, right? Comma URL. What is our URL? What is our URL this time? See, instead of using this URL here, my total token based GitHub repository URL to clone the CICD project.git as a private, I save this entire URL with this variable called URL with token. How can I? So very simple. You can slightly use a URL with what's the variable name? URL with the token. See, I can slightly replace the variable here. I never use any interpolation like a G string. I never use a type called as a string. It means data type I was never used. So static type I'm not using, dynamic type. That's the reason from the beginning I'm trying to inject some terms technically, and we are trying to parallel starts the another series called as Groovy, so that Groovy as well as a combination of Groovy with the declarative syntax, and finally we'll develop the lots of DSL statements in order to complete the entire CI/CD pipeline from the Git to the uh, last tool called the Grafana and Prometheus. Okay, that's it, right? So I think so. The step is clear. The first, apply and save it. Any errors? I think so. So I think so. Almost all the steps gone. First, we create the personal access token. Then we add the secret text using the DSL called with the credentials. Then within the DSL statement, we are going to clone it. For cloning that repository, we should use the token. How this token was called using with credentials. Then we are embedded the credentials inside the DSL step. And finally, to declare our own variable at runtime without defining the specific data type, we introduce a def keyword. And finally, let's go and run. Maybe you may get some error or not. If you get error, we'll try to fix it. Now I got it. I got error. Just go and fix it. Why there was error? I think so. I may miss the. Uh, I may forget the closing the brackets, closing the braces. Let's go and see the errors inside the script. So hope you understand, guys. So what is the main importance of today topic? So today topic is just like clone the private repository using HTTPS using personal access token. The highlighted here is how to create the personal access token, how to use a with the credentials, how the HTTPS is going to recognize the variable in order to find the, to find or to extract the token, and finally how this DSL statement Git is going to clone the private repository with the help of with credentials. Let's go back and see the console output. So every time if you get the positive outputs and results are good, there is no muzzer. So always get the bugs, whether it's a small or big. It's not a bug, it's like a compilation errors or runtime errors. That's why in the even if you move forward in the future, we'll discuss about the exception handling. Because the art of the DevOps engineer is you should troubleshoot the problems very clearly. So it is asking, expecting something line 20. So URL with token. So I think so there's small syntactical issues are there. I think so I forgot to braces. I forgot to open or close the brackets. Go and check. Okay, so first we open the pipeline, then we open the isn't any, right? Then we are declare the two variables like repo URL and branch name as environment variables. Then we started the stage. Let us configure it. So the bullet point here is for this series. In this series, sorry, one is a def keyword. What is use of def keyword? Def is a keyword in the Groovy used to declare a data type dynamically at runtime. If you don't want to define the specific data type at runtime, how this Jenkins is going to, how the Groovy is going to recognize the data type. That's first one. Second one is what is use of with the credential DSL statement. With the credential DSL statement is used to handle the sensitive information in the Jenkins like a personal access token, secret tags like a API calls like API keys and access keys and other secret text, right? Sensitive data if you want to deal it. So then uh, the importance of PAT, personal access token, right? Go back. If you scroll down, it's showing like line 20. But before that, first I started with the left angle bracket, environment was properly closed. Before that, git repo URL, branch name. Variables are clear. Stages. Under stage, there is a stage. Under stage, I open the steps. Under the steps, I open the with the credentials. So here, I forgot to close this brace, I think so. So script is closed. With the script is closed and the steps are closed. This is, but what's showing right? So git branch. Oh, I forgot to end the double quotes here. All right. Still, okay. It's additional bracket. Sorry, additional double quotes. apply. Yes, no syntactical issues. Oh, one more, close. I think so. They're gone. Cool. So now apply and save it and run it. So this is the script. This is the script. So your intention, like our intention, you have to understand. This is the format, guys. HTTPS must use X hyphen access token. Don't forget. Don't forget to use this. This this key will pointing to the variable my token. My token is the variable which we assign to the with credential during the DSL step creation. That's why, that's the reason most of the people simply clone, git clone using HTTPS, github.com. But in the corporate culture, we are using the private repositories with the HTTPS or SSH. Even there is a GitHub CLI. Even all our examples are rotating around the straight repositories. But in the, if you go to the corporate culture, your repositories are created under organization. So how to clone the repository from the organization? That's why if I say if I explain all these things, some guys will enjoy it, some guys will get disturbed because it's a fact. Because it's a fact, you always enjoy the complex things. You always enjoy the complex things. Then only we'll get into the real environment. So now just go and click on the build now. So second build is also failed. Go there and click on the configure. What's going on here? So you need to properly end it, right? So that's why if you do multiple mistakes, number of mistakes, then we'll get idea why the code was shown an error. So I think so. If you go for console output, but before that, see um, the scripts was okay. Then with credentials, okay. Then steps, okay. Then stages, and pipeline. What's wrong actually? So a bit. So just go and see. Scroll down. So it's saying like spelling problem, branch name. So go back and cross verify how you exactly. That's why silly mistakes like braces open, close the braces, colon missing. That's why if you looking at the DSL statement, don't blindly and don't simply copy and paste it. You just study it. How to start the braces, how to end the braces. Okay, what is the declaration, initialization, what is use of single quote, double quotes. That's what we'll exclusively discuss in the Groovy series. So that's why we will understand the importance of the script. Go back and go to the configure and look for the typo mistake. It's a typo mistake. Typo in the sense our mistake. That's why you should know errors. Errors are different types: compilation errors, runtime errors. So you should understand what is a compile time errors, runtime errors. What happens if the compilation errors are encountered? How to identify it? And during the execution of the automation script, suddenly exceptions are encountered. Then you should understand what is the differences between error and exception. That's why defining the pipeline is always a more technical challenges. That's we should understand such things in easy way. I mean in systematic way. Copy, just scroll down, branch name, BRAN branch name, just scroll down here. Branch name, capital letter, branch name. Right? I think so. Spelling here, apply and okay. And try to run this time. And before run this time, there is a one more last step you need to understand called why this credentials are Advantage and disadvantage. Disadvantages in the sense these variables are limited to the particular block only with the credentials. Best example, if you looking at, see, with the credentials within the block only we are declaring the tokens. Whenever this step is executed, whenever the logic is come out of this block, your credentials are gone. That's a more secure. You cannot maintain this data. You cannot have this data in the logs as well as output. That is a more advantages. That's if you want to inject the specific sensitive information, specific sensitive information for the specific block instead of sending the data to the rest of the blocks in the pipeline. So it's more advantage. Disadvantages, people say like it is only specific to the block, that's a temporary. But certain times we need to store such values for the specific block only because sensitive data you cannot open in the global level. If you really feel that the value is a global level and all the stages wants to access, what we need to do, you need to declare the token inside the environment directive. That's the reason all the videos till now we are revolving around its variable value. Go back and build now. This is the third one. So now finally I got success. Go to the third build, number 3, and cross examine. See, build number. Whenever you run the builds, every time build number is changing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the sense build number is a numeric. Numeric in the sense integer data type. That's a, you should know how to use the data types like string data types, like numerical data types, floating data types, character data types, other data types. That's what we'll discuss. Now see, build a 3, and my token was exactly like repository was exactly injected. See, this is, that's why whenever you go to this output, go and click on the console output, we can see the output of the script. What is the output of the script? Simply we clone code. So if you observe all the steps, we simply clone the code, but we injected different types of techniques how the declarative pipeline supports the facilities. The step is a get, the step is a checkout, and we clone the public repository, we clone the private repositories, and we introduce HTTPS and SSH and environment directives, variable declarations, and def keywords and string data types. So that's why enjoy the technical terms. Finally, I got the success. Okay, right now my job name is a clone repo using HTTPS. If you go back, connect to our Jenkins, log in as a root user. 1 second. So sudo su hyphen and yeah, go to the var lib Jenkins cd workspace. Under workspace, I have my own job name called as a clone private repository, right? Clone repo using HTTPS, isn't it or not? Yeah, clone repo using HTTPS. Go to the directory, cd clone repo using HTTPS ls. Now we got the same. So in this way, we successfully clone the private repository using HTTPS. My concept is not only cloning. My concept is how you are constructively developing the declarative code. There, we are building the step by step, right? That's why environment directives we discussed, and how to declare a global variable, how to declare a stage level variable, how to declare a local variable. For that, how to introduce a script tag, how to introduce the def keywords, then how this access tokens are created, and like. So if you observe the videos, you may understand carefully, you may get. So if you really like it, please try to subscribe our channel and please try to share to our communities, and please be patient. We'll come back with the next session with the great content, and thank you. See you in the next series. Until then, bye bye.